Well, there are some golf courses in the UK that have a history to die for well over 100 years, thinking about St Andrews, Prestwick, Musselburgh, further afield, everywhere else, history long as your arm. But I'm actually sitting in a golf club that history isn't too old, but boy is it a history. We're actually at the Belfry, where it's hosting Ryder Cup. I actually was at the Ryder Cup in 1985 and I watched Sam Torrance raise his arms to win the Ryder Cup for the first time in many, many years. So it's a venue here that means an awful lot to me. We're actually sitting in the Ryder Cup room here, and joining me is Angus Macleod, who is you told me it was a long title you've got, Director?
Yeah, it's a fairly long title. I'm a grass greenkeeper at the end of the day, but my title is Director of Golf Courses and Estates here at the Belfry.
Well, delighted to have an opportunity to sit down with you, Angus, and have a chat. You're not from here, neither am I, not from these parts. You're from north of the border like myself. What does it mean to be the man in charge of such an iconic venue?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, I still pinch myself. I mean, this is coming up to my 7th summer. When I got the nod, I was actually in Scotland at the time on holiday, and I got the nod, and they said, "Would you consider running the Belfry?" And I went, "Where do I sign?"
Yeah, thought about it for all of 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it was just like there was no negotiation. I really should have tried harder in negotiations, and you went fantastic, and it's a career goal to run something of this magnitude, and coming onto your standing on the golf courses, and it's just such an iconic venue, and the history and all the players that have stepped foot on this.
Thinking about Seve and driving the 10th, and Christy O'Connor in his 2-iron, and Paul McGinley. It's as I said, the history isn't long.
No.
Talking about mid-80s, but in those 35 years, there's been so much packed in. Not just Ryder Cup, other events as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's just there's a multitude of events, and as you mentioned, the Seve, Sam Torrance is another one, and he's a visitor that comes down and again, and he was regaling the stories to me about the Ryder Cup, and it was really good to see them met Paul McGinley as well when he was here. So it was, and they've got a fond affection. Mm-hmm. Westwood was here 2 summers ago for an event, and they've still got a really affinity, and they talk about it.
Well, like us, I mean, we always remember where we've played well, where we've done well, where we had an odd birdie. Not obviously as many good shots as they've hit, but they'll have the same sorts of feelings as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a test of golf. It's still a test, even though with technology and the golf course is 40-year-old golf course, but with technology and that, it's still a tough test.
Yeah, I mean, I remember it's changed an awful lot since 1985. Then the iconic holes were probably the 9th, the 10th, and the 18th. Yeah. Now there's barely a bad hole on the course.
There's not a bad hole. There's no weak hole. I mean, my favourite hole is 3. When I stand in 3, par 5, big lake on the left-hand side. The green used to be tucked up in the top right, and it was fairly easy, benign hole. Yeah. And now they've got the water features. So from a risk and reward, and for a match play venue, I honestly don't think I'm maybe slightly biased. Even though I didn't design it, I'd love to put my name to that. But just seeing it's from a match play, I don't think there's a better venue. 3, even 6, number 6 hole has been, and again the water tuck left, really narrow fairway, and you stand there, and it's a joy. It's a joy to play it, and it's a joy to maintain it and be part of that.
Well, coming onto the maintenance side, which obviously you've got full responsibility for, when people come here, they're invited along for corporate days, and maybe win a prize to come and play here. It's a once in a lifetime for some golfers. The onus on you to try and provide the standards, the conditioning that the Ryder Cup stars have enjoyed when they've played it must be on you, and that's for every day of the season, I would imagine.
It is very tough. It is very tough. I mean, I've got a fantastic team. The quality of standards laid down, the expectations are high. As you say, it's their experience, it's their day out. This is why we produce the golf course different. We try and produce the golf course to tournament conditions every day. And as a golfer yourself, and been in the industry for a long time, Scott, that's not an easy thing to do. No. Most of the time you're prepping a golf course for, maybe for the weekend monthly medal,
or the captain's day, or something like
day, or ladies' day, etc. Whereas we have to give that experience every day. I mean, so it's a challenge, but we think that we excel at that. I think the expectation. The other fun thing we do as well is we've got the GPS of last day Ryder Cup holes from 2002 Ryder Cup. So for special events and high profile events, we can we can give them that Ryder Cup experience. They can pat the same holes.
Same pin placements?
Exactly the same pin placements.
Wow.
And that's a cool thing. It's a really good marketing tool as well.
Yeah.
You can come and play it and walk in the same and have that same pat and try and replicate McGinley's pat on 18, Sam's pat on 18.
Yeah. Right. So, how do you ensure that the golf course is at its tip top when people don't want to come along and have aeration holes when they're playing on their special day? How do you get all that work done? Keep the standards, but still keep it that when people turn up, it's got a wonderful condition.
Yeah, I think we're like ninja greenkeepers. I think that we try and do things sympathetically. The renovation work and aerification work has to go ahead. Otherwise, we're a 365 venue. We try not to close the golf courses if we can, and we've got 60 golf greens that are all pure sand greens. So we're very lucky in the sense is that we don't really have to worry too much about the greens. They're fairly free draining, so the level of intense aerification is actually reduced over the years. We still punch holes, but it's very much a small tine, roll right afterwards, and that's from an innovation perspective, that's a really good tool for us.
It's funny you talk about the weather there. The wettest I've ever played golf in was actually here, and it was on a John Deere golf day, probably about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And we were all sitting, looking at the weather out the window, thinking we're not going to go out in that.
Yeah.
Even with the quality of waterproof these days, we're not going to go out. We did. We were out in the afternoon, and I can't remember having had a better day.
Yeah.
We all holed putts, we all did everything well, and despite the fact that you would look, there's no chance of us playing, the course recovered and out we went, and it was fantastic. So it's a huge plus you've got a course like that. Yeah,
very much so. I mean, it does. I mean, the Midlands typically is 600 millimetres of rain average, so we're not in a high rain volume, and that's a real bonus. I mean, most of the rain kind of comes from the west, and it kind of dissipates by the time it gets to Midlands. So we're very blessed in that sense. But obviously not today. But it's the course does drain well. We've done
and that won't be natural because you would imagine you're in farmland originally.
It was a potato field. Originally, that was the design.
Dave Thomas, wasn't it?
Dave Thomas and Peter Alice designed it, and I was very fortunate to meet Peter Alice at the World Golf Awards in Portugal, and he was up for recognition. Peter Alice was as architect, and we were. I went over and made a point of actually, I'm at the Belfry and you designed it. Can we have a chat? And he was fantastic. And he said that was just a horrible bit of land. He said to work with. But I said, well, fair play. You've done a fantastic job in the design, and and the imagination that goes into putting something on this bit of land.
Blank canvas, basically, wasn't it?
But I think and I was saying to Peter Alice, I said it's very unusual for you to stand on a putting green, overlooking a golf course or any golf course, and you can see so much golf. I mean, you can stand there and see 4 golf holes. That's unusual.
It's almost like stadium golf before stadium golf was stadium golf.
In this country. Yeah, very much, and it's a great foresight into that. And I think that you can see one. So the kind of famous holes in golf, and the recognisable holes in golf. You got 9 is a great golf hole, but you got 18 and 10 where you can stand there and just see